So we talk to our retailers all the time. We're really, really close to them. And their number one request was to be able to pay off their invoices in the platform where they're looking at the invoice. Let's talk about AR Hub. This is a new feature I'm so excited about. There's 3 pieces of AR Hub that's really important. The first one is the ERP connection. So we want to make sure with the ERPs that we work with that we're very integrated and connected to make sure that as the charges get made to the credit card or through ACH payments, that those flow back into the ERP, so the brand is very aware of what has been paid and what has not on an invoice, has been partially paid. If there's a credit memo, we display that back as well. So it really completes that full circle of not just looking at an invoice, but really understanding the payment status of an invoice as it's being looked at. So again, that's the really important piece of it is just making sure there's a really tight connection and communication with the source of truth. The second piece of it is the in-app notifications. So imagine that you could talk to that buyer, or through that buyer, you could then get the email sent to the payee to pay that invoice as they're shopping. So there are in-app notifications where a buyer will see if they have overdue invoices. There are settings where a brand can decide to notify a buyer if they have, again, an order over 30 days overdue or just any open invoices. And the kicker is this can actually be set at different trigger events. So imagine a buyer logs in, they have $10,000 in overdue invoices. You have this really hot selling product that everybody wants, so everyone's scrambling for the inventory to get it in their shop. They go to start the order and they get a pop-up that they can't place an order because guess what? They're on credit hold. Guess what? They're gonna wanna pay that invoice really quickly, and you're gonna have the opportunity to put that right in front of them. Now, if the buyer's not the same as the person who pays those invoices, the buyer can then click a button, send that invoice exactly to the payee with a note, hey, you better pay this, I'm not gonna be able to buy this product. So it's just that in-app conversation that is within the ordering process that's gonna be really critical. Maybe you don't want to stop an order. Maybe you want to allow the buyer to actually place that order, but then you want to pop up a notification. Hey, did you know this order might not ship unless you pay these invoices? So again, there's going to be lots of trigger events where you can have that communication with the buyer throughout different portions of their ordering sequence to really make sure to help to get those invoices paid as quickly as possible. And then the last piece of this is RepSpark Pay. So the buyer will be able to actually pay for those orders or pay for those invoices directly through the platform. So how we've done this, we've chosen a gateway partner that is very trustworthy in the market and a processor. And so you'll be able to work with the processor. We took a lot of time selecting the processor. We wanted to get someone who could really get well negotiated rates that could really dive into the types of orders that are coming through the platform, types of orders that are being paid with credit card versus ACH, and really understand that and work with you to get the best rates. It's not oftentimes where you get the opportunity to just not have a 2.9% plus 30 cents. We wanted to work with someone who was going to give you the opportunity to talk about how you're processing, what you're processing with, to really offer you the best rate and be able to negotiate with you. We also wanted to pick a processor who's really entrenched in B2B ordering. This is probably way too much information, direct-to-consumer ordering, 1 and 2 product is very different from a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 order. And we wanted to pick a processor who was really good at optimizing those types of B2B orders rather than that direct-to-consumer type ordering. Tons of other reasons why we chose our processor, but again, we really want to make sure that we are partnering with someone who's going to give the best rates and the best optimization of those orders coming through. And for brands, we wanted to select a partner that would actually fund the deposits within 24 hours. So some people in the market, they'll take 5 days, 7 days to actually fund that deposit or deposit those funds. And we wanted to choose a processor, again, where the brand can get paid as quickly as possible on those transactions coming through the platform. We all know how important cash flow is for brands. Oftentimes they are extending terms, they are shipping product, they're holding product in their warehouse for a number of days, then shipping it to a retail location, and then the retail location gets, net 30, net 15 terms. So cash flow is really, really important because that brand needs to have that cash in the bank to be able to then buy their next set of inventory or to invest in marketing or to invest in growth. So this is why I'm so excited about AR Hub, to help the brands. The second reason is it's like the number one thing that our retailers are asking for. So we talk to our retailers all the time. We're really, really close to them. And their number one request was to be able to pay off their invoices in the platform where they're looking at the invoice. In RepSpark, the retailers have the opportunity to look at an invoice. They can get tracking information. They can get order status and order history. But imagine looking at that invoice and just wanting to pay for it and not being able to. So it's very frustrating for retailers to not be able to pay an invoice that they happen to be looking at that time. So we're super excited about it. It's all three pieces. I'm most actually excited about the notifications and the in-app piece. I really think that's going to be able to help our brands get paid on those invoices faster, more streamlined, quicker, and we've already seen that with some of the brands that we have working with the AR Hub.